Ross Coulthard says Congress has known about UFO crash retrievals for 2 years. There is apparently a study on alien DNA, and Brazil has released its UFO files. It's time for a UFO news roundup. Get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like, please subscribe, share on social media, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, let's just get right into it. Here's what Ross Coulthard said on a recent interview with the Good Trouble Show.
And I've gone back and double-checked that with my sources, and I am abundantly clear that there is multiple corroborative evidence to back Mr. Grush's claims, not only of reprisal, but also of the existence. They testified under oath to the existence of a crash retrieval reverse engineering program. And then what happened was, because it was referred to the Congress as credible and urgent, the congressional committees, the House Permanent Select Committee for Intelligence and also the Senate Select Committee for Intelligence, then began their investigations. And contemporaneously with the approach that David Grush made, it emerged, and I learned this not too long ago, but I learned that there had been secret hearings in the Congress now for at least 2 years, where witnesses have come forward with evidence of the crash retrieval program. So when you see these congressmen and senators appearing on television and saying, we're going to get to the bottom of this, we're very concerned to analyze this and find out the truth of this stuff, I know for a fact that their committees have actually heard this evidence, and there are transcripts available of which they can apprise themselves, where the witnesses have given full evidence under oath and testified to not only the existence of the program, but the alleged location of the technology, the craft, the name of the people running the program, how it's coordinated, how it's hidden, the code names, locations, everything.
So there you go. The Congress knows the names of the programs, they know the locations of the programs, they know the personnel involved. Why is Marco Rubio and Kirsten Gillibrand and Tim Burchett not standing on a UFO right now in Area 51 or wherever with a live television crew announcing to the world in an international press conference that indeed UFOs are real? Here they are. I'm standing on a freaking UFO. Oh, and by the way, there's bodies over there. So what's going on? Obviously, Congress has been in on this, or at least has known about it for a couple of years, and apparently, according to Ross, has investigated it. So why haven't we heard more about this until the David Grush story broke? Does that mean, as Tim Burchett said, that members of Congress have been compromised on the UFO issue? Is there some national security reason for the silence? Are they trying to get their facts straight before they reveal this to the public? What exactly is the reason for this silence on the part of Congress? Now, you could argue that, hey, maybe they're not being silent. Isn't there going to be an open hearing with David Grush in the near future, apparently in both the House and the Senate? Well, that could very well be the case, and I really, really hope that comes to pass, and I think that it will. But they were not willing to discuss this openly or even acknowledge the existence of this stuff until the David Grush story broke. So that is why the David Grush story is so important, because it has begun to open the can of worms more fully that really began to open when Lou Elizondo got those videos out with the help of Chris Mellon and TTSA. So, you know, the can is being opened, the worms are coming out. Congress is now able to talk about some of this stuff, but clearly they know a lot more than they have revealed to the public. What exactly is their rationale for keeping this secret? Ross goes on to say that there are actually more whistleblowers that have testified to Congress other than David Grush. Let's see what he has to say.
That not only did David Grush give allegations to the Inspector General detailing the existence of the reverse engineering crash retrieval program, as a consequence of his evidence, and understand this well, other witnesses were called by the Inspector General. And I know that, I'm not sure the number, I suspect it's around 6, testified on Mr. Grush's behalf And I don't think Mr. Grush is even aware of who all those people are. But my other sources are telling me that there was an abundance of evidence given to the Inspector General of the intelligence community that more than verified not only the reprisals that had been taken against Mr. Grush, but also the existence of a secret crash retrieval and reverse engineering program.
So there you go. There's some more whistleblowers have testified to Congress supporting David Grush's claims. And according to Marco Rubio and Ross Coulthart, there are other whistleblowers waiting in the wings to come forward to testify. I hope some of these guys become available to the public and start doing interviews and making the rounds. This stuff really needs to make a big splash. I've been really disappointed by mainstream media. There have been a few articles, there have been a few news pieces, but there has been a real startling lack of coverage on this. Balloongate got all the attention. Why isn't David Grush getting at least the same level of attention that Balloongate got? This is, seeming like as part of a pattern of silence and complicity on the part of the media in the cover-up. Or is it simply that they don't want to go there? In other news, the Brazilian Air Force has released its UFO files, and Ronnie Vernet, if I'm saying his name right, he did a FOIA request to release more than 60 new UFO documents from the Brazilian Air Force. These documents cover UFO sightings from 2017 to 2021, mainly reported by pilots. After my request, these documents are also available at the Brazilian National Archives website. Some of them, unfortunately, only found using tricky search. So yeah, I'm going to link to his Google Drive, and you can peruse these 60 files that he was able to get FOIA'd and now is on this Google Drive. I haven't gone through them. I don't know what's on them. I don't know what the Brazilian cases are. I don't have time to go through all of that. But if some of you do, please let me know what you find out. I think this is awesome. We're finally getting, at least one other country to be more open about their own sightings and interactions with the UFO phenomenon. This is awesome. I hope this is the first domino to fall on that particular topic, and that we get more countries coming forward with their own information and sightings soon. In other news, the Australian Royal Air Force is saying they did not attend the Five Eyes meeting. There supposedly was a recent Five Eyes meeting of the Five Eyes Alliance, if you know what that is, Australia, New Zealand, America, Canada, etc. So about the UFO U.A.P. issue. And the Air Force of Australia is saying they had no part in it if it existed. I'm not going to read the entire letter, but here is the official letter from the Royal Australian Air Force. I can confirm that Air Force has not delivered any briefings to the Deputy Prime Minister on the matter of UAP. Air Force did not attend the Five Eyes Forum on UAP or the Five Eyes Foreign Material Program mentioned in your correspondence. So, whether they did or not, who knows? Was it some other branch of the Australian military or government that went instead of the Air Force? We don't know, but we are, seeing now that at least the Australian Air Force is denying that they went. This goes along with the statement from Canadian Minister Anand in reply to Larry Maguire, the Larry Maguire leaked memo story, saying basically that, she wasn't refuting Larry Maguire's letter. She wasn't saying that it was bogus, but she was disputing that there was an ongoing UFO crash retrieval program among the Five Eyes Alliance. She is saying that all efforts to study UAP ceased in the 1960s. And of course, Minister Anand is the Defense Minister of Canada. So we have a public stance on the part of Canada and Australia of denying this Five Eyes involvement in the UFO crash retrieval and reverse engineering program. Are they being honest? Are governments ever honest about this stuff? The U.S. Pentagon is still denying this stuff. even while Congress is demanding UFO material be turned over to them. So, yeah. We'll see how this plays out, but don't trust any of these official sources. One last thing, this isn't breaking news. This is a book that has been out for a while, but apparently there was a genetic study done on alien tissue. So this is from the Juan, a really great UFO researcher. He says, I cheated and read the conclusion of this book first. It's been on my radar for a while, and we'll get to it soon. The case took place in Sydney in 1992, going back to Australia. Here's a quick synopsis from Amazon. Corey's case would result in the very first forensic DNA analysis of alien abduction evidence, and it revealed an extraordinary biological anomaly, one genetically close to human, yet almost impossibly far from the human mainstream. And there's actually a 4-hour-long presentation by Peter Corey. I have not watched that 4-hour presentation nor read the book, but if you have done either one, I would be very curious to see what you have to say about that. I can add a little bit, of the bigger picture stuff that I got from the book by Ashiana Dean, The Voyagers, The Sleeping Abductees, where she, is one of these big picture things like the Law of One and the Seth material. And in it, she does say that the Greys are, they are from an alternate parallel reality from the future, and they are very, very distantly related to humans. And that is why they are here and why they have created or are engaged in the hybridization project. It is because they can, after some experimentation, hybridize with us. Why? Why are they here? Why are the human-alien hybrids being created? Is it to infiltrate our society? Is it to take over? Is it to help us? Is it for some other reason entirely? Well, the book does go into that, and there are other people that have different views other than that book. But I just wanted to provide that corroborative piece of evidence, if you consider that book evidence, that indeed the Greys, at least, are tangentially related to us in a very distant way. Now, one would think that the Nordics, who look a lot like us, would be a lot more closely related to us. So I don't know why the Greys have been chosen to hybridize with us above the Nordics. I suppose they're the ones that wanted to do it, that needed to do it. They came here for their own reasons to do that specific thing, which is what that book talks about. But I don't know. I have so many questions about the hybridization project, but it is interesting. It is fascinating that there was indeed a DNA study done on alien human tissue. The conclusion from the book, and apparently this was not done on a gray or a Nordic, but possibly a tall white, to conclude this genetic analysis of a reportedly alien thin blonde hair has raised a number of important questions for further work. It generally supports the reality of such extraterrestrial contacts in a Sydney suburb in 1992 and perhaps elsewhere, owing to the rare morphology of such a hair plus the rare nature of DNA sequences obtained. Had that hair been a common Earth artifact, it would have shown up early in the investigation. We cannot prove it is an alien hair, yet Occam's razor supports that notion. Where else in Sydney could Peter Corey have obtained a long, clear, exceptionally thin head hair which shows Basque Gaelic DNA in its root, but Chinese DNA in 2 parts of its shaft? Further work on other potentially alien biological samples should be undertaken without delay. These studies might identify DNA sequences which are not just rare but unknown to any plant or animal on Earth. For example, a Yowie mitochondrial DNA would fit those criteria if it turned out to contain DNA distinct from that of any local primate. What could be more elegant and simple than to find DNA as a genetic molecule all through the galaxy? Yeah, that would be great, right? So this is an amazing find up there with David Paulides having Bigfoot hair genetically examined, and also found to be related to humans, which is very intriguing. So, are we talking about hybrids? Are we all hybrids? Were we created by the beings as a hybrid race of some sort, which is what you get in a lot of the material? Is Bigfoot another hybrid? What's the deal? What is going on here? There do seem to be many different hybrids. Apparently, different races have tried to hybridize with us. There are some that seem to hybridize better than others. The Greys seem to be able to hybridize with us better. So, what does that mean? Why are they all trying to hybridize with humans? Are we hybrids of them or creations of them? Are we creations of them because they want to hybridize with us? They want to come to this planet so that they created an intelligent being so that they could then hybridize with, so that they could be here. All supposition. I don't have any answers. Only questions. If you've got some answers, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think about Ross Coulthart's comments about Congress sitting on UFO crash retrievals and reverse engineering for 2 years before finally opening up about it because of David Grush. Let me know what you think about it all in the comments below, and if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. There are plenty of other videos to check out on the channel. There's Facebook and Twitter links below if you wanted to join me on social media. That'd be super cool. There are other ways to support the channel. You can become a channel member. Supporting the channel will allow me to spend more time on Cosmic Road so I can make more videos and better quality videos. So consider becoming a channel member. Consider leaving a super chat or a super thanks. There's a PayPal button below. Or you could simply just have some fun supporting the channel by reading a cool science fiction or fantasy novel that I wrote. Here's a trailer for one right now. Link in the description.